This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Thrown under the bus.
No.
Always live, always real, always unpredictable.
I'm not okay with that.
It sounded good when I thought.
Log on and join our live conversation.
Yes,
I don't like
right.
that.
You're 100% right.
DBL starts right now.
Welcome to DBL. Al Jackson, you're going to have to do the honor. It is
Friday!
Yay!
Yes.
Take me to church. Yes, it is Friday, May 31st. We are live, and we're talking about what you're talking about right now. I'm here with Stephanie, Tori, Al, and I'm Sam.
You messed your name up twice this week.
I have messed up my name twice in 1 week.
What do you think that means?
She's a mom, so she's worried about our names. She gets our names, but she doesn't.
It means I'm tired,
self-love.
Tori. You're right. Brandon has the day off. Let's get started. It was all about Drake last night at Game 1 of the NBA Finals, which went to the Toronto Raptors 118-109. Despite being asked by the NBA to tone down his courtside antics, Drake's superstar enthusiasm was on full display again. He had this interaction with Golden State Warriors guard Steph Curry, getting into his personal space, and at one point picked lint out of his hair. Yeah. And now Drake says he's posted the lint for sale on eBay. See it there on his finger? Mm-hmm. Drake also had words with Golden State's Draymond Green and appeared to call him trash as Green left the court. Some are saying this is an improvement from Drake's previous courtside behavior, like when he gave Raptors coach Nick Nurse a shoulder rub during the Eastern Conference Finals. And we're also learning new details about Drake's plane you see here called Air Drake. The 767 jet, which retails for a whopping $200 million, was reportedly free for the all-star rapper. TMZ says that it was given to him by Cargojet, who believed the publicity would more than pay for itself. OMG. That's insane.
What's on that table?
Yeah. Okay. I got to go back to the antics because, listen, I know that you live and breathe sports.
Yes.
You're always at basketball games, Al.
Yes.
This is so inappropriate to me.
It's inappropriate, but it made me think about the great poet Nene Leakes. What'd she say? Who's gonna check me, boo? Who's gonna check Drake?
I love me some Nene Leakes.
Nobody's got. I mean, he is the most famous person in that arena. It's crazy to say, but no one really has the authority. They have the authority, but no one's gonna do it. He's great. He's a great mascot for that team.
Steph Curry has the authority, though.
I think no. I mean, there's nothing wrong with having a bit of fun at a game, being really supportive. He's the mascot. I get that, but I think it just goes to a whole other level here. And with the plane, I understand. Yeah, he travels around a lot, but you know what infuriates me? When people get rich or famous, everything is just given to them, and it's at the wrong point in their life. He doesn't need this plane. He can afford to go on a plane. What about the millions of people that can't? The money could be used for so much better.
The rich get richer, the poor get
So is your plan to give private planes to poor people? That's the economic strategy we're going for?
No, I just mean like that money could be used.
Ridiculous.
How nice would it be if he went on a trip with it and then he was like, you know, I'm going to bid it off to charity, and then that money goes to something. But I guarantee he won't. He'll prance around in it, picking the lint off whatever else he finds in there.
Can you believe he picked lint off of Steph Curry's head? He's in the zone. It's the NBA Finals, and you have some homeboy picking lint off your head?
And then the eBay thing, I was like, our country is gone. Where are we going here? But it's funny because Steph does go up to him and talk. Like they seem to have
a friendship.
An amicable friendship, yeah. But at some point, I thought you aren't supposed to get that close to the players. He's like this close.
Wow, he draked out.
He draked. Full Drake.
Full Drake. It was history. It was a history-making moment last night at the Scripps National Spelling Bee. Did you see it? 8 talented young spellers were all crowned champions, and they now call themselves Octo Champs. Here's a look at some of the action from last night's competition.
L-A-U-T.
After 20 rounds, 2 girls and 6 boys were announced as co-champs. They will each get the $50,000 prize. Here's what they said about the historic moment on GMA.
It's amazing being able to share the title. It's even more special because we get to share it with 7 other amazing spellers.
When Dr. Bailey announced that if you get to round 20 and spell your word correctly, you'll win, I thought there was a chance.
I was very happy when I realized that, yes, there was a chance that we could be Octo Champs.
Okay, Al, you almost won the DBL spelling bee.
That's quite the title after we announced it.
Wow.
Stop bragging on me, Sam.
This is incredible. Now, this seemed to have gone on forever.
Till midnight.
Is this too much pressure for young kids?
I think it is, but it just seems like there's some kids. I feel like I'm looking at one right now that just probably loved to spell as a young person. Were you a speller?
Just such a good speller.
Yeah. Are you serious?
Good. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and it brings you a lot of joy. It's people that like the crossword, visual, they're word people, wordplay people.
I'm like, literally, look, you've got it right in front of her right now.
It's a sport. And what's so cool is it's an independent sport, so you spend a lot of time, to be honest, alone. And so sharing it, you get to actually have a bunch of friends. What a wonderful experience.
You know what I loved? If you watch the start of that clip, when they're cheering for each other, when they got it right, they were really supporting each other and clapping and going, I mean, I'm not going to lie, when I did beauty pageants, which was the most competing I ever did, I'm not very sporty or academic, but I wasn't cheering for Miss Hull or whoever was coming up next. Damn, no, I hope we should fall over. I'm
there we go.
Truth. I do say that's camaraderie.
Yeah,
that is,
that
and
is.
they should change the trophy. It's not
Why?
It's like a white chintzy thing with some flowers.
I wasn't feeling the trophy.
Okay, all right. So they got to up the trophy game.
Looks like they were like flowers in there.
Yeah,
oh
they
no,
like
we need a
dumped
trophy.
it in the hotel
I hope they each get one. I hope they each get one. You guys, this next story is really crazy and actually very disturbing. Remember this video of Kim Jong-un's aide sprinting down the train platform after North Korean leader catching up with him just as handshakes were being exchanged. Jokes were made that he was going to be in some serious trouble. Well, now we know it is not a joke and it could be deadly. North Korea has reportedly executed 5 officials, all for their part in the failed second summit between leader Kim Jong-un and President Trump. This man, who is North Korea's special envoy to the U.S., was shot by a firing squad in March because he had betrayed the supreme leader and been, quote, won over by the U.S. He was one of 4 officials who were killed, according to a South Korean news agency. And these 2 South Korean officials, one a senior official and the other an interpreter, were sent to a prison camp for messing up. Tori, we've heard these stories over and over and over again about the human rights violations, about the murders. Why is there any positive talk about this man? I don't understand. This is an evil dictator.
Yeah, like I read a book on someone who actually successfully ran away from a detention camp. That's almost unheard of to South Korea. They are so poor there. They eat leather, rocks, and dirt. Okay, if you mess up by stealing some bread because you're starving, your entire family for generations all go to the prison camp. Okay, you work for years and years and years. There's no internet. You can't have any news. There are horrible ways of executing people. This is a dangerous, evil man. And when we make jokes on Twitter, and I don't just mean President Trump, but people being like, I think he's a good dictator, or we can sit next to him and have a discussion. No, this guy is as bad as a Machiavellian, evil anti-hero.
Yeah, we're talking about someone who executed his half-brother, his own family.
With a missile, right?
Literally, some of the deaths are too heinous to even say. But like Tori said, if you so much as do a very small white-collar crime, you in 3 generations go to concentration camp.
You die there.
You die there. If you have a child there, they're never allowed to leave. That's their life. And it's got nothing to do with them. It's absolutely absurd.
It is.
Like, I can't believe in this day and age that we're even allowing your president to even interact with this, but it shouldn't even be happening.
No, I know. You believe me. Yeah, chime in, DBL Nation. We want to hear from you as well. Well, we want to send well wishes to Larry King and his family right now. The 85-year-old TV host and personality was a no-show to pick up the American Spirit Award on Wednesday, and he's reportedly not doing very well after he was hospitalized last month. A close friend reportedly said he's coming along. It's been a struggle, but the hope and expectation is he'll be home early next week. Another very beloved person. A lot of people used to watching him in their living rooms.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. I hope that he is. I hope that he's okay.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's good news that they're talking about next week. I mean, usually when it's a much less better prognosis, usually they don't talk like that. So I'm excited to see him back, and I mean, it just gives us time to reflect on an incredible career. I mean, he's interviewed everyone. Yeah, so I hope to see him back.
And it does remind us, you know, just to check in with your loved ones. It does. Your grandparents, your parents.
Totally.
I take tomorrow for granted. I really do. So when you see someone, even though I don't know Larry King, you feel like you know Larry King, and I think it's just it's an important reminder for us all. So we are wishing you well, Larry King. DBL is live. We'll bring you breaking news as soon as it happens. Coming up, hair extension ideas for women of any age. We'll show you how to put some pep back into your hairstyle. And you, the viewer, are our fifth host. A major company is going to offer men the same parental leave as women after having a baby. How much paid time off should new dads get? Your comments coming up next.
Wishes to Larry King. That's really.
No, I'm just have it just in case.
That's really disappointing that he missed that. But I'm glad he'll be back next week. I'm actually a fan of Larry King. I'm always interested in people that interview people. I like the person asking the questions. I always wonder where they're coming from. So wish him a speedy recovery with that. Tori, do we have any comments on this?
I don't have an iPad, but I do want to let everybody know that we're talking about this really cool fifth host, and y'all are writing in already about should men get time off as much as women, and also what happened with this dad is so interesting because he basically was told you can get 16 weeks off of paid leave if you're the primary caregiver. And he said, okay, well, I'm the primary caregiver. And they said, well, that's usually birth mothers. So that's where the language got tricky with this job at JP Morgan. So the question of maybe we need to update our vernacular of who is the primary caregiver, because it's not always the birth mother. And so it's a very small sentence in a clause in a very long contract that can mean the difference between women excelling, men excelling, children excelling, the office excelling. So you guys are writing in a lot, so make sure you keep writing in. We're going to be reading new ones every time, and we want to hear what you have to say. Yeah, we do.
Welcome back to DBL. It is time for Fifth Host when we talk about what you're talking about. A new dad sued his employer for 16 weeks of paid parental leave and won. The JP Morgan Chase banker asked for the same amount of time off that the company offered its female employees. He was initially denied, but now the bank will have to pay out $5 million to dads who weren't given equal paid time off to care for their newborns. And the company has now changed its parental leave policy to be gender neutral. So DBL Nation, should dads get as much paid time off as women for parental leave?
All right, Sam. Nick from Facebook says men should get time off, but do they really need as long as women do? If the mom is up and able to do things, does the dad still need to be home? Nick, I would say absolutely. You and your partner have just brought a new life into this world, and I think those initial weeks are crucial for bonding.
Yep. Richard from Facebook says women aren't always the primary caregiver anymore. The entire system of paid time off after a couple has a baby needs to be overhauled. Richard, you nailed it, because in this specific case, it just said the primary caregiver gets paid 16 weeks of leave. So he said, great, I'm the primary caregiver. And they said, no, the clause says that birth mothers are known as the primary caregivers. And that small sentence in that long contract can change everything. So that's what he got changed, and I completely agree with you.
Laurie from Facebook says, when women physically give birth, our bodies need special time to recover. These situations are not equal, so why should the policy be? Well, Laurie, I do agree with you. Obviously, when you give birth, it's very traumatic on your body, and you do have to recover. And in that time, you need that support and help from your partner. You know, you can't do it alone. If you have a C-section, you can't drive a car for over 6 weeks. You can't
pick up anything.
You can't even pick up your own baby.
Yep.
So in the UK, men are entitled to, they have to by law have a minimum of 2 weeks off to help support the partner, and the majority of companies in the UK will also match paternity leave, and I think that's something that the US also should do too.
Agreed. Marty from Facebook says, my husband had to go back to work 2 days after we had our first son. I was definitely not physically or mentally able to care for our baby all by myself during that time. It's really sad because if you are an entrepreneur like my husband, you get no paid paternity leave. If you are in a corporation that has very little, it's up to that corporation. Our country, out of 41 developed countries, we're 0. All these other countries have figured it out. Countries that you wouldn't even think, Malta, Monaco, all ahead of us. Slovenia, way ahead of us when it comes to mandated maternity and paternity leave. We have zip-0 in this country. So I think for men and women, we deserve more. Let's get this last comment.
All right, Donna from Facebook says, I wonder how many of these men will abuse this time off. It's not like a woman who just gave birth can get a sitter and go play golf. Donna, I don't, as a father, I don't think that'll happen. When you have a new baby at home, that's all you want to do is be with that baby and be with your partner and have, like I said, that crucial bonding time. I don't think anybody's thinking about golf, I promise.
Good point. We're getting to, thank you for writing in, but we're getting some new news right now. Kim Kardashian is working to free a man on death row and was just spotted at one of America's most notorious prisons. Wow, Raquel, please fill us in.
That's right, Sam. Kim Kardashian's mission for criminal justice reform took her to San Quentin's death row Thursday. She met with Kevin Cooper, a man convicted of killing 4 people and sentenced to death in 1983. The 61-year-old has always maintained his innocence. Now, last year, she asked the governor of California to look into his case. Thanks in part to her help, DNA testing was ordered, and right now he is waiting for the results. The reality star spent 2 hours with Cooper and believes he was framed. Now, Kim is determined to practice law, and in the past few months, her legal team has helped free at least 17 inmates.
Yeah, wow, that is phenomenal.
Kevin Cooper has been asking and suing for his DNA to be tested for decades, and all you need is one person who believes to take a chance. It's not that hard. I mean, you got to pay for it, but it's not rocket science.
That's why I'm against the death sentence. Even though I understand it as a parent, if somebody did something to my Sophie, I would want the worst upon them. But there are a lot of people that have been executed and we found later were innocent or sitting in death row, and then we are able to exonerate them. So just remember that when you are at the voting booth, because those are lives.
Yes, they are.
And a lot of times innocent lives. Well, still to come on the show, Daily Blast Live is helping you glam up your do. We'll show you hair extensions for women of any age when we come back.
Love spelling bees, people writing in.
Oh, and I know.
So Ellis Walker says that's $400,000 total for that's $50,000 for the 8 spelling bee champs. That's right. Stephen George says thought things were moving the right direction for North Korea. Everyone should count their blessings. If you don't read into specific genres of North Korea, just so you know this, it's pretend there's like a security gate that comes down in North Korea. You don't know a lot about North Korea because they don't let anything out and they don't let anything in. So there's no internet, there's no news, they can't
there
get
is
the computer.
internet, but it's restricted.
Yeah, like
they
certain
have,
people
like,
can't
10
have
channels.
it. Yeah, and certain
And
normal
it's
families can't get it.
It's government like
Only.
restricted, so it's what they want you to see. It's not like you can go on Google.
Yeah, so and they also don't produce anything other than these smiley pictures, and photographs and journalists aren't allowed in to photograph what's actually and document what's going on.
Actually,
so it's
Tori, too, have you seen the Vice interview?
No.
There's a Vice interview, if you guys don't know,
I love
about a North Korean woman, several North Korean people refugees who are escaping to South Korea and other countries, and the journey that they take.
So few of them make it. They cross the
my
DMZ,
God.
which is the demilitarized zone between North Korea and South Korea.
And
it's a little like
from New York to Florida. It's the size from New York to California.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
the same size.
Exactly.
It's insane. It's
So-
like
In learning more, it's credible. It's incredible what propaganda can do if you didn't know anything about that.
Next time, guys.
Welcome back to DBL. It's a style that has completely taken over young Hollywood. We're talking about hair extensions. They can add length and volume to any haircut. But did you guys know that women of all ages are getting them? In fact, Ruth Langsford of QVC has been very vocal about having them after her hair started thinning during menopause. I had to learn more about this growing trend, so I met up with hairstylist extraordinaire Lindsay Guzman to get the 411. Check it out.
Everyone in Hollywood has got hair extensions.
Everyone.
But they're for everyone else too, right?
Yeah, they really are for anyone. Anyone can have hair extensions. They're a wonderful solution, and we have tons of clients coming in for several different reasons. Anything from medical issues, recovering from pregnancy, just naturally thin hair. Really any reason you want thicker, fuller hair, we can give it.
I'm gonna transform my pixie into a wavy bob. I survived cancer. I finished my chemo treatments about 2 years ago, and I've been embracing the short hair look for a while, but I'm ready for a change, so I'm gonna give this a try. When I lost my hair, it was probably, I think right after my second treatment, it just started coming out. And so I had 2 little girls at the time. We just went in the backyard and I let them give me a haircut, which was really fun for them. The thing I'm the most excited about after these extensions is just going back out into the world and seeing my friends and showing them a new me.
We did a full set of fusions on her. And fusion is a really amazing solution for anyone with really short hair, because we can pack them in really tight. They're super comfortable. They last quite a long time, 3 to 4 months.
Yeah.
And gets them past that hump, really.
Right, Lindsay, these look a little bit different to the other hair extensions.
Yes.
What are these?
So these are what we call microlinks. These are our most common hair extension that we do on clients.
I'm here to get extensions because I am over 40 and I felt like I needed more volume for my hair.
You know, she's what I would consider our typical client.
I am so nervous to get extensions. I've seen a lot of pictures on the tabloids of celebrities who've had really bad extensions.
They're put in underneath the hair, so they're not detectable. It really fills in that front area beautifully. And the hair is great. You know, we work with really, really ethical companies. The main company that we work with is Bellamy. We love them. So all the hair is Remy, 100% Remy hair, meaning that it's all the cuticles are going the same direction. That way it'll last a really long time and it never gets really tangled.
I'm gonna be wearing extensions in my grave.
Oh my God, I love it. Love it, I love it, I love it.
We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by...
Hi DBL Nation, I hope you're having a wonderful Friday and you're excited for this weekend. I have some news on Britney Spears. It's actually an update from Britney herself on her condition. She's kind of like making some goofy faces in this Instagram post, but she does say she had just finished therapy. So she's saying that she is going to a therapist now. She had, like weeks ago, she had checked into a mental health facility and it caused a firestorm of controversy with people saying that she was there against her will, that she needed to be freed. And for someone who said they were just trying to be there to have as little stress as possible, it wasn't a good situation for her to be in. And now she's posting videos at home right now, just saying she is in charge of her life, trying to make it clear that she is in control and kind of posting all these things to let us see that she's having fun and it's her goofy side. And some people are even now speculating that she's being forced to do that. And it's just quite a sad situation because this is just someone trying to heal and get better. And I just hope that people just approach her with some compassion, regardless of what she's doing online or what she's not doing online, just to treat her like a human being, like if it was someone you know. Because when we see stars, we kind of feel like we know them and we can have a say on how they should be treated or what they should and shouldn't do. But again, pretend like it's like a family member before you write something crazy on the internet. And just help Brittany heal, send positive vibes her way. I've been wanting to see her show in Vegas for years now. And if she ever feels up to doing it again and healthy enough, I will buy tickets the day they go on sale, because I'm always rooting for someone to come back and do what they love. And I've watched documentaries on her, and I know she's loved performing since she was a little kid. So hopefully we get to see you back on stage soon, and I will see you in the second shows. So, bye DBL Nation.
Welcome back to DBL. We love sharing your comments. Tori.
So it's all about full Drake, going full Drake. Okay, Naomi says, I don't care how famous one is. Unless you're part of the basketball team, then stay behind the line. Even team players are limited on the court or they get penalized. Now he's confronting the other team and he's touching other players. A lot of people writing in that that was just seemingly dangerous. And
It
he's
just
not
comes
above
off
it.
so entitled to me. And
I know.
It bothers me.
Then we also got comments in from, getting from Drake. Kyle Baxter, Drake does what Drake does best. Some people are okay with it. And then, by the way, I'm happy Raptors beat the Warriors in Game 1 last night. Proud to represent Toronto, Canada. That is Kyle Baxter.
And also, don't forget, I mean, we're talking about Drake right now, but for an NBA Finals, it's saying a 10-year all-time low because don't forget, LeBron James is not in this Finals. Right now, Kevin Durant's not in these Finals. So they don't have a lot of big names. So in a weird way, Drake is the biggest name on the court.
But sit down, be humble.
Yes. Yeah. You tell him that when he gets off his 767.
Air Drake.
Yeah.
I mean,
I feel you, but
Jeez,
look,
all right.
he's kind of killing it.
Okay. We'll see you on Monday, same time, same place.
Wait.
Oh, I see Stretch,
Yeah.
but I got the Stretch after the fact, so.
All right, I was just saying we're going to have a party for Game 2. Are you going to come? People came to my house last night.
Yeah. I'll
Yes?
come. Well, it depends what day.
We'll talk off air.
If it's at a work night, bye guys, have a good weekend.